Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger. And up here today, I have a bit of time on my hand, so I decided I'm going to do my 2019 uh, 2020 um, Xbox 360 collection. So, as you can see, we have a lot of games to go through here. So, I will try to get them all shown. Don't sorry if there's not a distinct description for each game. I apologize if I sort of s- I apologize if I skim through some of these games. Sorry about the state of the floor, my son. Um, but yeah, the Xbox 360 is a fantastic system, a very well-renowned system. We'll probably do a video on the Xbox 360 in the future and talk about why it was so successful and why it's a very important console. But I would suggest to anyone who wants to get into collecting games but don't want to spend too much money, Xbox 360 is a fantastic console to collect for because the games are extremely cheap, and to be honest, most of them either do work on Xbox One, but even so, on an Xbox 360, they still look pretty good, and it's not a massive step back in some people's eyes. I have more games than I thought, so this is a good sort of reminder for myself to sort of pick some out perhaps I want to play, and hopefully in the new year I'll get all my consoles set up so I can play some of these games on the Xbox 360 on the original hardware, although Xbox One is the better way to play Xbox 360 games if they are backwards compatible, because you get all the bonuses like 60 frames per second, and some games are even 4K enhanced, and even some Xbox One X enhanced, and also some games and of course they run a little bit better. So perhaps if you're counting, perhaps in the comments below, let me know how many games I've got in total, if you want to do that. So we're gonna get started in no particular order. Some games might be in order, so we'll just get straight into it. Up first we have Operation Flashpoint Dragon Horizon, and as you can see, 5 for £5, 99p. So just got to show how cheap some of these games really are. Sort of a this is a sort of a tactical first-person shooter. Not too bad. Then we have Rainbow Six Vegas 2, another classic back in the day, a very loved series. A lot of people were hoping for a Rainbow Six Vegas 3 announcement, but unfortunately Ubisoft gave us Ghost Recon Breakpoint instead. But Rainbow Six Siege is still going strong. And to answer your question, I haven't played all of the games, so if I don't say much about it, it means I haven't played it. Then we have Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2. Love the Gundam series. Unfortunately, when I did my model, my partner messed up on the leg, so we need to get some glue to stick it together. So I will post pictures when I get the chance to do that. But yeah, these are pretty fun Dynasty Warrior games if you want something different. Then, of course, the massive classic Halo 3, one of the all-time greats, and a fantastic game, a must-own for any Xbox fan. Project Gotham Racing 4. Surprisingly, Microsoft did not bring this series back, which is kind of unfortunate because these games are pretty good. The closest thing to it, I'd say, would be Project Cars, would be close to PGR. Nice, good sort of combination of arcade and simulation. Pretty fun series. Need for Speed Most Wanted, the Criterion version. and yeah, I don't think this is as good as the original, but some people still say it's a pretty good Need for Speed game. I don't play a lot of racing games anymore. Need for Speed Shift, again, sort of another Need for Speed that sort of went off on a weird tangent, but still. Then we have Final Fantasy 13 Part 2. Final Fantasy 13 had 3 games in one thing. A lot of people were disappointed with 13, felt that it didn't have as much as it should have. Infinite Undiscovery, another sort of exclusive game, as you can see, only on Xbox 360. There is a fair amount of JRPGs on Xbox 360, to be fair, Square Enix title. Then we have Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom. You know, it's funny because Kingdom Under Fire have just released a new game, and it's a mobile game, so yeah, kind of a sad thing to see there, but still. Another forgotten RPG series. Leisure Suit Larry box office bust, one of the worst Xbox 360 games, considered to be a very bad game. I've never played it myself yet, so. Tetris Evolution, of course, Tetris is on everything, so of course the Xbox 360 had its own version. Some Kinect games here, Kinect Adventures. I do have a Kinect, just don't have it all set up. So again, in the future, I will set everything up to try it out. But yeah, the Kinect was it was okay for what it was, but still. Kinect Sports, much of the same, sort of like the iToy V3 almost. A Dance Central. Kinect's answer to Just Dance didn't really catch on, but they did make a second one. I think there's 4 of these, maybe 3 or 4 of these, so there was a few dance games. Cars 2, unfortunately, you know what, this is, in my opinion, this is actually better than the movie. The movie wasn't great, but the game is okay. Flat Out excuse me. Flat Out Ultimate Carnage, another sort of fun, excuse me, racing series. Yeah, pretty fun series, arcade style. Fuel, the game that promised to be a huge map, but the map was quite bland. Yeah, the game promised to be more than what it was, but some people still say it's a fun open world dirt bike racing Motorstorm-esque style game. Then we have Test Drive Unlimited 2. You know, I enjoyed the first Test Drive Unlimited game, never played the second one, but yeah, this game sort of, a lot of people felt downgraded a lot of the stuff. Race Pro, another, this is actually part of the GTR racing games. Remember GTR? Well, not many people do, but if you do, this game is a continuation of that. Lots of different styles of cars. Michael Jackson, The Experience, again, love a bit of MJ. Ironically, I got this on the PS Vita as well. Motion Sports, Play for Real. As you can see, you know, sometimes, sorry about the stickers, but just gives you a good idea about how much these games really are worth now. So definitely worth picking them up if you are looking to get into collecting for the Xbox 360. Rise of Nightmares, a good idea from Sega back in the day to create a sort of horror game where you have to use its motion controls. Unfortunately, the game was a little bit on the bad side, so we got VR now, so VR was the way forward, but still did some pretty cool ideas at least. Then we have TNA Impact, the only TNA game that we ever got. There was one on PSP as well, but yeah, surprisingly, TNA haven't made another game. There is talk about a uh, what's that new wrestling company called? It will come to me later. But yeah, only a game of TNA that we got on consoles. Angry Birds, Star Wars. Some games you can play with the Kinect, but also a controller. Other games, if they are purple all the way around, that's Kinect only. If they have this, it means you can play with a controller. Just a little bit of info for you. Then we have Champion Jockey, Jockey and Galaxy Racer. I only have this for the Koei Tecmo. Again, lots of Koei did a lot of horse games. Need for Speed Shift Unleashed 2, or Shift 2 Unleashed. Yeah, ironically, this game doesn't have Need for Speed in the title, but it is Need for Speed. Oh, it is there. Sorry. Yeah. Then we have Anarchy Reigns. Pretty fun fighting game, actually. I remember playing this on PS3, but yeah, it's not too bad. Some cool cel-shaded graphics. Battle Fantasia, another sort of fun, different style of fighting game. It's like a fighting game with RPG elements. Quite interesting. BlazBlue Continuum Shift. Lots of these BlazBlue games out there. Eternal Sonata, a Namco JRPG. You don't see that often. Namco don't really make a lot of JRPGs anymore, but yeah, here's one. I think it's all based around music and stuff. So then we have Final Fantasy 13 Part 1. I think the first part, they said it takes about like 30-40 hours before the game gets good, which a lot of people were disappointed by the fact that you have to put that much time into the game before it gets good. So yeah, that's why I haven't played it yet. And then we have Defense Force 2017. Again, I know for a fact this is backwards compatible, so if you are keeping note of what games I'm showing, also perhaps maybe a comment which ones are backwards compatible would be nice as well. Not saying you have to do it, but would be helpful. Yeah, I love these games, pretty fun, time wasters. Stuntman Ignition, really good sort of different style of racing game, all based around trial and error. Love this game. It's a shame we didn't get another Stuntman game, but it is backwards compatible. Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. It's okay. Lots of meme-worthy material in this game. John Woo presents Stranglehold. Sort of like a Max Payne style game. It's actually not too bad. Dynasty Warrior 6 Empires, of course, you know me, gotta have all of the Dynasty Warrior games. 6 was my least favorite of all the series because they changed the combat controls and I didn't really like it that much. And then we have Tales of Vesperia, as you can see, £10. There's only a few, oh, this is Namco as well. There's only a few games on Xbox 360 that are going to cost you more than £10, which is pretty fair if you ask me. Def Jam Icon. A lot of people were disappointed by this game because you know, Def Jam was notorious for being nostalgic games on PS2, so this game just didn't sell as well. But it's based around music actually, so yeah, it's musically charged combat, which yeah, it has some cool elements to it, but I just don't think it was handled very well. Vampire Reign, one of the worst games on Xbox 360. Haven't tried it myself, but I know its legacy is notorious for being terrible. Blue Dragon, the guy who worked on the Dragon Ball Z anime, also worked on the artwork for this game, and you can definitely see that. Pretty cool RPG. Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. This game is quite different to the other Earth Defense Force games because it was actually made by a different uh, group of people, so there was a lot of differences, but still another game in the Earth Defense Force series. Then we have Dark Star 1, The Broken Alliance. I think it's a space RPG. Risen 2, Dark Waters. I wanted to like this game because I like the idea of a pirate themed RPG, but unfortunately this game didn't really prove to be that great. So perhaps the third one is better. But yeah, if you want a good pirate game, I recommend playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Star Ocean, The Last Hope. A lot of people were surprised to see a Star Ocean game on a Xbox console, so yeah. Again, I've never played any Star Ocean game just because I don't have a lot of time for JRPGs. Secret Service. Ironically, an Activision game, so it wouldn't surprise me if this is a Call of Duty style of game. Section 8, this game was meant to be like a Battlefield in the future. This game essentially is what Titanfall became, I think, in some senses. But it had some pretty decent online back in the day, so unfortunately that's no longer really available. But it was a pretty cool sort of big battle game. Singularity, another sort of, some people say this is a hidden gem. Again, Activision, so there's proof that Activision did make other things before Call of Duty. It's a shame really, because there's so much they could do with that. As much as you hate Call of Duty, but you got to say that Call of Duty does have some decent first-person shooter elements to it. As a first-person shooter, it's a good game, but it's always the same thing really. So if they use that Call of Duty format and made other games, I think it would do pretty well for Activision. But yeah, this game's all about like time travel, and you can reverse time and things, so yeah, some pretty cool things to it. Castlevania Lords of Shadow. A lot of people weren't too happy with this game, changed the format, made it into more of a God of War style um, instead of the classic whip and stuff. But some people say this game is pretty good, and yeah, this game was free last month, so got it as well. Raven Squad, another game which had some the best of these three. Unfortunately, didn't do very well. It's a mix between an FPS and a real-time strategy game. Sounds like a good idea, I just don't think it was handled very well. London 2020, 2012 Olympics. Actually, these games are pretty fun to play with friends. It is just button mashing or timing of buttons, but you can have a laugh with some Olympic games, and even playable in 3D. As you can see, we're getting some sports stuff here. FIFA 06, Walter FIFA World Cup. I think this was one of the first FIFA games on Xbox 360. Again, as you know, I collect everything if I'm going for a full set. Skate, another series that a lot of people loved and are asking for to come back. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 11. Yeah, I do buy the sports games for consoles that I'm going for full sets. Some people don't, but I swear by having every game, good and bad. Project Sylphid, another space themed RPG. Resonance of Fate, another Sega JRPG. Yeah, there was a fair amount on the Xbox 360, which is surprising. Enchanted Arms, actually part of the Wild Arms series, or spin-off of the Wild Arms series. I remember liking this game. It sort of had like a Pokemon feel to it, where you get lots of collectible monsters to use in battle and things. Actually, I enjoyed this game for what it was. Far Cry Wild Expedition, unfortunately, it only includes Far Cry 2 and Far Cry 3, but still, a different cover variant is always nice, but it also was meant to come with the original and Blood Dragon. Far Cry 3 is fantastic. Borderlands, the original, amazing series. Unfortunately, 3, I've been having a lot of problems with 3 when I played it on Xbox One, so hopefully that's changed. GoldenEye Reloaded 007. This game has had multiple versions. You had the original on the N64, then the Wii version, then this version, and now you have Source, which is the fan-made GoldenEye game. But yeah, fantastic original game. This one, some people say it's good, some say it's not as good. Personal preference. Another copy of Rainbow Six Vegas 2, but one of them does have Rainbow Six Vegas 1 in there. So yeah, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. I enjoyed these games actually. I don't play a lot of tactical shooters, but I did enjoy the Advanced Warfighter series. So it's a shame that the new Ghost Recon games have just been sort of subpar, where they used to be so great. Battlefield Bad Company 2, or in many people's eyes, the best Battlefield game of all time. And yeah, a lot of people were asking for Bad Company 3. Instead, we got a Battlefield 5, which completely went over the fans' head. Saints Row 2, a classic if there ever was one. Saints Row 5 is meant to be announced next year, so looking forward to hearing from that. Love the Saints Row series. Not too serious of a game, which is my sort of thing. Fantastic game to play in co-op as well. A lot of fun to be had. Crackdown 2, actually enjoyed these games back in the day, but they just don't feel as good as, say, Saints Row or something. And Crackdown 3, in my opinion, was a big disappointment after waiting all those years. The original Crackdown is again, these games were fun when they first come out, but nowadays they sort of just feel a bit repetitive and stuff. But still, if you've never played one, check out the first or second one. Syndicate, this game, when it was announced, looked pretty amazing, and it sort of since then become a forgotten game, which, yeah, still haven't played it, so I'm sorry about that. Dynasty Warriors 6, again, gotta have that full collection. X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition. Surprisingly, this game is still considered to be a mixed reaction. Some people love this game, other people don't, so it's really, personal preference, but better than the movie, so to say. Yeah. Then we have Unreal Tournament 3. Yeah, this game is actually pretty fun. Unfortunately, Unreal Tournament has died now, and I don't think we'll be getting a new Unreal Tournament anytime soon, which kind of sucks. But these were the pinnacle of arena shooters back in the day. FIFA 08, FIFA 09 as well there. Tomb Raider Underworld promotional copy case here, not for resale, but ironically I brought it at CEX. Never really played much of the old Tomb Raiders. The only one that I really played all the way through was the Tomb Raider 2013 game, I think it was, the new Tomb Raider series, and I enjoyed that, so perhaps it might be time to play the others. Terminator Salvation, unfortunately, doesn't do the movies justice. The new Terminator game did look pretty decent, but I've heard mixed things about it, and same thing goes for this game. Just play Gears of War and then play this game and you'll notice the big difference. The Saboteur, a pretty fun open world World War II game. Imagine Uncharted with an open world almost. It's kind of like that. It was okay for what I played. This game was notorious because it had a DLC where you had to buy the DLC, which allowed you to have strip clubs in the game, which is ingenious in some senses. MX versus ATV Alive. There's so many of these MX versus ATV games. It's crazy, but gotta have them at least. Colin McRae Dirt. Always enjoyed a good rally game here and there. 100-player online mode. Could imagine that was pretty cool back in the day. Sega Rally, in my opinion, the best rally game of this generation. This game just embodies what rally games are about. Fast-paced, controls are somewhat easy to learn but hard to master. And yeah, this game is like the arcade games, the old Sega Rally Championship games, but in my opinion, it just does everything a little bit better. And yeah, this is one rally game that I really enjoy. World Rally Championship 3, the FIA World Rally Championship, another series that still is going strong. PGR 3, again, another series which I think Forza really took over Microsoft's. MX Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Of course, we all know what happened to this game. Injustice came out, and then Mortal Kombat came out, and then you get both characters in both games. So yeah, Spec Ops: The Line. This is actually a pretty decent game actually, and I couldn't believe this when I heard about this. This is actually a continuation. Well, in the same. You remember the Spec Ops games on PS1? I couldn't believe this. How did I not realize Spec Ops? Yeah. So yeah, but this game it's not too bad, and some quite emotional scenes in this game, quite controversial for its time. Bureau XCOM Classified. I enjoyed this game. It's not like the other XCOM games. It's more of a third-person shooter, but you do get some tactical control, and I enjoyed it for what it was. Something a bit different. Green Lantern, Rise of the Manhunters. Better than the movie, again, and it has co-op. So, yeah. Soul Calibur 4, the game that did similar thing on both consoles. We had Yoda on Xbox 360, and PS3 had Darth Vader, and I think they released both of them as DLC characters. But yeah, Soul Calibur 4. The Club, another average third-person shooter. This is quite arcadey. Reminds me a little bit of 50 Cent games. 007 Bloodstone, another mixed reaction game. Some people like it, some people don't. Summer Athletics 2009, another obscure athletics game there. It's crazy. Jumper, Griffin Story, another forgotten movie, and the game is considered to be pretty terrible. Wet, this game is basically Kill Bill the game. I remember playing it, and it was pretty decent for what it was. But yeah, pretty fun little hack and slash. Call of Duty 3. Before Call of Duty went off on the crazy tangent that it did, we had the classic World War II shooters. Shadowrun, another pretty good game back in the day for online. Unfortunately, it got overlooked, and now it doesn't really have much online community. Unfortunately, I believe on PC there are still some servers. I think this was on PC as well. EA Create. I think this is like a Little Big Planet style game. It's all about creating levels and things. Command and Conquer 3, Kane's Wrath. Yeah, Command and Conquer classic series, and to be honest, the Xbox 360 games weren't too bad. And of course, Red Alert 3. There were 3 Command and Conquer 3 games on the Xbox 360. Guitar Hero Aerosmith, I believe you can use a normal controller for this game. Only 2, 3, and this game I believe you can use a normal controller for. So if you don't have a guitar, you can still play this. Guitar Hero 5, again, classic things. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Ironically, this is the only Assassin's Creed game that I've beaten, and yeah, I enjoyed this one quite a bit. Supreme Commander 2, 1 and 2, sorry, should I say. Another sort of overlooked real-time strategy series that just didn't hit off that well. On the chair, City of Gangsters. This is a strategy game, but from what I know, it's not too. It looks pretty good actually. I have to give this one a try. And there's the original Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars. Tom Clancy's End War, another real-time strategy game. This game had voice commands, which was a pretty big thing at the time, and which is what helped sell this game. Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth. Yep, does have the right game in there. Another big strategy game. How good it is on console compared to PC, I don't know. Kengo Zero, another sort of fighting game with samurais. It's sort of more of a strategy themed fighting game. It's all about timing your attacks and parrying and stuff. So, but it's not that great. A classic favorite series of mine, Dead or Alive 4. I love the Dead or Alive games. Have a lot of fun playing these against my friend, and yeah, these are awesome fighting games. Can't go wrong. Carrier Command Gaia Mission. Another sort of strategy game here. The original Rainbow Six Vegas. Yep, Rainbow Six Vegas. Classic. Prey. You know, this is weird because this game did actually have a sequel planned, and this game is actually pretty unique, pretty fun actually. Reminds me of BioShock or something. And then we got there was meant to be a Prey 2, but that got cancelled, and then we got the Prey Bethesda game, which was nothing like this game. It was sort of, you know, more like Deus Ex or something. But yeah, this game is actually not too bad. Lego Star Wars 3 Clone Wars. Love this Lego Star Wars games. Can't wait for Rise of Skywalker. I have another copy of Middle Earth here for some reason. Don't know why. Spider-Man 3. Again, this wasn't as good as Spider-Man 2. Really was a step down from Spider-Man 2, unfortunately. Trio here, Outland, From Dust, and Beyond Good and Evil HD. Beyond Good and Evil HD is a classic, of course. As for the other 2 games, I can't really say too much, but they all got pretty decent scores. Monster Madness is Battle for Suburbia. Looks like a party game of sorts. Silent Hill Downpour, still connected there, but yeah, I thought I had this game actually. I wasn't sure if I had these games, so yeah. Again, Silent Hill. I read something about PT the other day that the game was gonna be amazing, and then they cancelled it. So it was gonna meant to have like the game was gonna text you and email you even when you weren't playing it and stuff. That sounds amazing from a horror point of view, but it just didn't come to be. But there is some people are saying Hideo Kojima does want to work on a horror game, so hopefully we might get a Silent Hill-esque game. Shell Shock 2 Blood Trials, terrible game. It's a shame because when I seen the trailers for this game, I thought it would look pretty good. You know, all about real life PTSD. The Darkness, I still haven't played this version. I've only played the second one. Bionicle Heroes, one of the early TT games, and yeah, this is actually a pretty decent, different style of Lego game. NBA Live 10, NBA 2K7, NBA Ballers. Again, lots of basketball games on the Xbox 360. Madden 12, Madden 07, Guitar Hero 3, Legend of Rock. You can use a normal controller on this one. I know people don't like to say that, well, it's not what Guitar Hero is about, but still, it's still pretty fun to listen to the music, at least. Beijing 2008. Velvet Assassin, another game that looked pretty good when it was announced and stuff like that. A stealth-based World War II game just didn't do that well. Fight Night Round 3, another series a lot of people are asking to come back. NHL 10. Big's Tour Baseball. NBA Jam. This is the sort of sports games that I prefer, you know, non-realistic, arcade. Just fun, not too serious. Lego Lord of the Rings. Love the Lego games. FIFA 14. How you would use the Kinect, I have no clue. FIFA Street. Unfortunately, these were nothing like the classic FIFA Street 2. FIFA 13. Rock Band Song Pack 2. Still sealed. Yeah. Rock Band 2. I don't have any of the required instruments for Rock Band either. Rock Band 3. Lost Odyssey. This game has 4 discs. This was considered to be one of the biggest Xbox 360 games back in the day. It was meant to be, you know, a Final Fantasy replacement. It was meant to be the biggest thing since Final Fantasy, and it still is a pretty decent game from what I know, but unfortunately it just didn't catch on, unfortunately. But yeah, this game is still considered to be an epic game. Lots of hours to be put into it. Fantasy Star Universe. I'm hoping Fantasy Star Online is meant to come back, but we'll see. I did enjoy the old Fantasy Star games. Assassin's Creed Revelation, another classic in the Assassin's Creed series. Turning Point, Full of Liberty. This is another game that should have been really cool. Sort of almost Wolfenstein style of a game, you know, Lost World War II kind of alternative history. The game just didn't catch on. Dynasty Warriors 7. One of my favorites in the Warriors series there. Beowulf, the game. I think this game is actually considered to be not too bad. Brutal Legend, another classic in many people's eyes. A decent game, I just couldn't really get on with the sort of tower defense part of it, and then I just gave up. Grand Theft Auto 4, the complete collection, which comes with Ballad of Gay Tony and Lost and Damned. Yeah, a lot of people look over Grand Theft Auto 4, but I thought Grand Theft Auto 4 was really good. Halo 4, in my opinion, the most disappointing Halo game of them all. I didn't really feel that pleased with this game. It was a good game, but just didn't have everything I wanted from it, unfortunately. Halo 3 ODST. This was a breath of fresh air. This was something different from Halo back in the day, and for that I really enjoyed this game for what it was. Over G Fighters, sort of a Ace Combat-esque game there. What have we got in here? Overlord, Pikmin meets. This is actually a fun game. I enjoyed that. Lots of humor to it. Triple Pack, Charles HD, Limbo, and Explosion Man. Some classic hard games there. Double Pack, Bioshock, and Oblivion. Both amazing games. Many hours to be put into Oblivion, and Bioshock is one of the best FPS games of all time. Dynasty Warriors Strike Force, they tried to make this into a more of an RPG, and unfortunately the game was just not that great. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3, love this game. Dynasty Warriors, the PlayStation 3, the fourth one, I can't remember what it's called, but that's my favorite. Men in Black Alien Crisis. Lost Planet 3 and Lost Planet 2. These games are actually considered to be pretty decent games. I've never played either one of these, but yeah, they're meant to be pretty decent games. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Day Zero Edition. Another copy of Saints Row 2. G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. This game is actually not too bad. Sort of like a top-down twin-stick shooter almost, and yeah, it's pretty fun. But the checkpoint system is pretty bad. Red Faction Armageddon, much more linear than Guerrilla, but still not too bad of a game. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, one of the most underrated RPGs. This game is like Fable 3 meets something else, I can't remember, but yeah, this game is actually so underrated. I remember playing it, and I was amazed at how this game really didn't kick off. So hopefully in the future we might get a remastered version or a sequel of sorts. Hunted the Demon's Forge, another pretty fun co-op game. It's like a mix between a hack and slash game and a cover-based shooter. Really good game to play in co-op. Another copy of FIFA Online. A third copy of, oh wait, there's nothing in that box. I was going to say, why do I have 3 copies of that? Left 4 Dead Game of the Year Edition. Amazing game. Really was what this game really kicked off, and Left 4 Dead 2. These games are must play for any fan of co-op games. These are amazing games. On a technical level, maybe not the greatest in terms of graphics and upgrades and all this stuff, but just the Dungeon Master AI is just fantastic. Lots of fun to be had, great replay value, and of course better on PC with mods. Dead Rising, the game that really kicked off the new zombie craze. Really classic game there. Tough game. Dead Rising 2 off the record. This is basically Dead Rising 2 if you played as Frank West. It's like a remastered Dead Rising 2, but an alternative story, but does have some new modes in there, so I think this is better than Dead Rising 2. Black Site, another wannabe first-person shooter. It's okay. Now, some wrestling games. SmackDown vs. Raw 2007. Love the SmackDown vs. Raw games. I keep hold of these because some of them are fun to play with friends as a bit of a laugh. 2008. I think this one had a really good campaign actually. One of them had a really fun campaign where you had some great RPG elements to it. 2009, of course, DX on the front there. 2010. And then the last of the SmackDown vs. Raw games, 2011. Shame they really went off on a bad tangent. WWE 12, WWE 13. I do have 14 as well somewhere, and 15. I do have 14, it'd probably come up in a bit. Legends of WrestleMania. This was sort of the last wrestling game that won a yearly release, so, and it's average at best, unfortunately. Avatar the game didn't do as well as the movie did. Great Battles of Medieval, History Channel, Fairy Tale Fights, a pretty interesting little game. Soul Calibur 5, of course, with Ezio in the game as the newcomer. Don King Prize Fighter, another boxing game there. Armored Core 4, never really got into the Armored Core series, a bit too tactical for my beast. The Beatles Rock Band, ironically one of the rarest games is the Beatles Rock Band complete set, which comes with the drums and everything. Ironically, if you have that complete in box, it's worth quite a bit of money. Still sealed, Rock Revolution. I keep these games sealed, they're not worth a lot of money, but when am I ever going to play these? WWE All Stars, another decent attempt by THQ to make a different sort of arcadey wrestling game. It was fun, but it just didn't do as well as the older stuff. Naruto, The Broken Bond. Never really got into Naruto. Ultimate Ninja Storm 2. These games are considered to be pretty fun. Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, Full Burst. Pro Evolution Soccer 2010. Which is better, PES or FIFA? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me in the comments. Homefront, another series that really tried to beat Battlefield but failed miserably. Shame really, because it could have been something special. PES 6. Divinity 2, Ego Draconis. Don't know if this is more like the original Sin games or more of a hack and slash. Don't know. Escape Dead Island, a cool concept, but just this game shouldn't really been made. It was average. I mean, Dead Island has never been an amazing series, but I enjoy the Dead Island games. Fear Files comes with Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate expansion packs, previously only on PC. Chronicles of Riddick, Assault on Darth Athena, but this also includes the original Chronicles of Riddick game as well. So 2 games for the price of 1 there. Not many people know about that, so yeah, this game does include it. See, as you can see there, the original game, remastered version. So yeah, that. Time Shift, I wish that word was Time Splitters, but Sierra branded title. Wonder if Metal Jesus knows a bit about that. Titanfall, the game that was meant to be the biggest thing in multiplayer gaming, and to some extent it was, but only for a couple of months. Dead or Alive Extreme 2, already told you my thoughts on this game before. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Tom Clancy's Hawks, and Hawks 2, no more flight simulators, Ace Combat style. Hitman Absolution, never really got into the Hitman games, I just could not really get really far with them. Facebreaker, another sort of cartoonish boxing game. Red Faction Guerrilla, really good game actually. Would recommend playing the HD remastered version though, if you want the better version, I guess. Legendary, cool concept, not handled very well. All about like you know, a first person shooter against, you know, mythical beasts and things, but the game just isn't that great. Condemned, actually, this game is actually pretty scary, so not for the faint of hearted. It's a shame really, this game should have really been bigger than what it was, and was one of the big games that YouTubers played back in the day. It would have been nice to maybe see a new one. EA Active 2, fitness trainer there. The ever great Assassin's Creed 2. Why was Assassin's Creed 3 remastered but not 2? I don't know. Condemned 2, Bloodshot, just as good. Then we have the original Fear, again, scary game from back in the day. Dragon's Dogma, Dark Arisen, yeah, this game even got remastered, so it's actually not a bad RPG. Divinity 2, the Dragon Knight Saga, yeah, it also includes the remastered version of Dragon Ego Draconis. Defiance, another game that was meant to be big online, and unfortunately I never got a chance to play this, so I don't even think you can even play it anymore. They did do 2020 or whatever it was called, and that wasn't that good either. Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires, one of my favorite of the Warriors series. Fallout New Vegas, a classic if there ever was one. One of the best Fallout games in many people's eyes. Of course, the new game from the Outer Worlds is Fallout New Vegas without being called Fallout New Vegas 2. Hellboy, Science of Evil, a bad game I hear, but does have co-op. Thor, God of Thunder, never played this. Don't know how good it is, but you know me, gotta have the Marvel games. Fear 2 and Fear 3. A lot of people said this sort of took away a lot of the horror. Some people said that. Deadly Premonition, one of the most, this game is actually considered to be really underrated. It's like a Silent Hill game. They've just remastered this on the Nintendo Switch, so if I get a Switch I might get the Switch version. Tenchu Z, I believe this was the last Tenchu game. Shame, a lot of people's favorite. Halo Reach, my favorite Halo game of all time. This game is coming to the Game Pass and is coming to the Master Chief Collection, so I might run this one back up and play some Halo Reach. The original Saints Row, the only Saints Row I never beat. Transformers, the game based on the original, based on the movie. Revenge of the Fallen and Dark of the Moon. average Transformers games. The Cybertron games are considered to be better. I did have them, but I sold them, unfortunately. Running out of space here. Fusion Frenzy 2, party game, not as good as the original. Splinter Cell Blacklist, a lot of people are hoping for a new Splinter Cell game. Conviction, never really got into Splinter Cell. The Gears of War Collector's Edition, a must-own for any Xbox collector. Gears of War is Xbox. Gears of War 3, my all-time favorite Gears of War. Absolutely love this game, had everything you could ever want from a Gears of War game. Halo Anniversary, the remastered first game. Oblivion Game of the Year Edition, comes with both expansion packs. Absolutely love Oblivion. Guitar Hero Metallica also has some other, not just Guitar Hero, so Metallica got songs, but also has some other songs on here. Judas Priest, System of a Down, for example. The original Assassin's Creed, where it all began. I remember seeing this for the first time and thinking it was very Prince of Persia-esque game. DJ Hero. I did have the turntables, but I don't think I do anymore. Guitar Hero 2. I believe either this or the third game has on Xbox has the Halo theme soundtrack. So another classic. Persona 4 Arena, a fighting game in the Persona universe. Never really watched anime. Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Surprisingly, a really good fighting game. Army of Two 40th Day, fantastic co-op game. Definitely recommend. If you're going to play one Army of Two game, this is the one I recommend. Great stuff. Call of Juarez, The Cartel, terrible game, but I thought it was average at best, but still. Enemy Territories, Quake Wars was the last game that we ever really got in the Quake universe, but there is Quake Arenas on PC, still hoping for the console edition to come out. Killer is Dead. Don't know much about that. Knights of Contact. I heard this is sort of like a God of War, Dynasty Warriors style game, so I have to check that out. Ghost Recon, Future Soldier, and Advanced Warfighter 2. This is really good. It's okay, not as good as 2, but still. 2 decent games there. Naruto Ultimate Storm, Ninja Storm Generation. Far Cry Predator Instincts. Yeah, I believe this is actually the there was Far Cry, then Instincts or Predator, and then there's this one. So this is I think a remake of the original Xbox game, I believe. So not the original Far Cry game. Frontlines Fuel of War, another game that tried to be like Battlefield and could have been really good, it just didn't live up. Vin Diesel's Wheelman, actually surprisingly a fun little game. It's you could say it's Fast and Furious, the game, the movie, the game almost, but it's not too bad. Call of Duty 2, again, even includes a bonus disc in here as well. Yeah, it includes a bonus DVD disc there, which I haven't watched, but still. Splinter Cell, Double Agent. Devil May Cry 4. I didn't really like Devil May Cry 4, to be honest. I still swear by 3. Def Jam Rapstar. Nothing like the other Def Jam games, just a karaoke game. Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock. Again. Lips, Microsoft's answer to SingStar. Lips #1 hits. I do have a Xbox microphone, so a lot of these music games I can play as a singer if I want to. The original Rock Band. Mindjack, this game actually could have been really good. It's all about controlling your enemies and stuff like that, but the game was not handled too well. Lego Rock Band, of course, Lego has to do everything. Xbox Live arcade compilation disc, you got this when you bought an Xbox 360. Includes Uno, Pac-Man, Boom Boom Rocket, Luxor Tour, and Feed and Frenzy. Feed and Frenzy is pretty fun. Another arcade compilation disc includes Bejeweled 2, Geometry Wars, Wiki, A Fable of Souls, Backgammon, Outpost Kaluki X, and Texas Hold'em Poker. Nothing too special. Sega Dreamcast Collection, Bass Fishing Adventure, Space Channel F5 Part 2, and Crazy Taxi. 4 classic Dreamcast games for the price of 1. Battlefield 3 Limited Edition Physical Warfare Pack variant. Brink, another game that promised to be a lot but failed miserably. Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. Unfortunately, this was the last Brothers in Arms game and didn't do the series justice, unfortunately. Call of Duty Black Ghosts Steelbook Edition. Actually, I like the campaign for Ghosts, as do I with most of the Call of Duties. Blood Drive, another sort of racing zombie game. The Outfit, one of my all-time favorite World War II games and one of my favorite Xbox 360 games. I love this game. Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Republic Heroes. I remember when this game came out, I paid full price for it, and but it's not too bad as a co-op game. Got another copy of Left 4 Dead 2, of course. Gotta have 2. Another copy of Halo 4. Another copy of FIFA 14. Some of these games were donations, others were even my partner's games, and if I have 2 of the same game, sometimes like Left 4 Dead, it's if I ever do want to play it with my partner. Lego Jurassic World, Pure and Lego Batman, Devil May Cry HD Collection, still sealed. Played all of them before, so that's why it's still sealed. Cabela's Survival Shadows of Kutmai. I don't know how good that is. Saints Row 4, the one where it really went off on a weird tangent, but still fun. Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, very good game, definitely worth checking out. Call of Juarez, Bound by In Blood. Don't think I played this one. Clive Barker's Jericho. It's had some pretty cool elements to it, but the enemies in this game are bullet sponges. It takes like 3 whole clips to kill a basic enemy, which is annoying as hell. Black Ops 2, the fan favorite. Not mine, no. A third copy of Halo 4. Why do I have 3 copies of Halo 4? I don't know. Cabela's African Safari. I don't know why my Lego Ninjago movie is in there. Sorry about that. Resident Evil 6 Steelbook Edition. I love Steelbooks. 6 is... I like Resident Evil 6 for the co-op. Final Fantasy Lightning Return. This is the third and final part of the 13. Oh, my back hurts. Morph X. Another bad gamer here. Smash Court Tennis 3. It's a shame really because I loved the Smash Court Tennis game on PS1, and then they made it more realistic, and I was like, okay, I don't care anymore. Blazing Angels, Squadron of World War II. Rumble Roses, basically Dead or Alive meets wrestling. Actually, not too bad of a game actually. Young Justice Legacy. Never watched the show. Oh, almost X-Blades. Sorry, I gotta speed things up here, so I'm sorry if you want more descriptions. Just ask me about games, and I'll do more videos on them when I play them. Watchmen, End is Nigh, Part 1 and 2. Yeah, not a very good game, I hear. Warriors Orochi 3. Of course, 3 Ultimate being one of my all-time favorites in this Warrior series. Orochi 2. And Orochi 3. I remember when I first seen these games, I had never heard of them, and then when I seen them and I saw that they were Warriors, Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors combined, I fell in love. Legend of Troy, another Warriors game, but more Greek and mythology. Too Human, this game had a massive budget and failed miserably. Narnia, Prince Caspian, Steelbook Edition. The game's not too bad, better than the original one. Rise of Guardians, my partner loves this movie, and the game is looks pretty fun actually, not to tell a lie. Samurai Warriors 2, but I believe it has, oh it does have 2 in there, okay. I know one of them has 2 empires in there. Rise of Argonauts. Onechambara, Bikini Samurai Squad. Zombies and sexy women, what more can you want? Ninja Blade, Ninja Blade. This is actually, I believe this is from Software, if I remember rightly. This game was meant to be like the Ninja Gaiden, from Software, which I think it's from Software who did Dark Souls, if I'm correct. Sorry if I'm wrong. But yeah, this game was meant to be the Ninja Gaiden killer. Definitely had the Ninja Gaiden level of difficulty, that's for sure. Clone Wars Republic Heroes. In here I have Sonic Generations, actually a pretty good Sonic game if I do say so myself. Samurai Warriors 2 Empires. N3 2 99 Nights. This game is much better than the original, I hear. Mini Ninjas. Here this is actually a pretty fun little game. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, one of my all-time favorite Marvel games. Star Trek, based on the movie, not the old Star Trek, unfortunately. Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands. I hear this is actually pretty decent. Nailed, another bike racing game. Overlord 2, again, C-Lot 99p, you can't go wrong. Whether the game is good or bad, still you can't moan about the price. Band Hero. Kinect Star Wars, the game that made Star Wars really a joke, unfortunately. But the console that came with this game is worth a lot of money, and so is the controller, which is ironic. The Gunstringer, Kinect game. You Star 2 in the movies. Zumba Fitness. Saint John the Third, the full package. The Bourne Conspiracy. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07. Alone in the Dark, terrible game, don't play it. Virtua Fighter 5, another fighting series that has died off now. Bad Company, Battlefield Bad Company, the original. Battlefield 2, Modern Combat. Zone of Enders HD Collection. Same person who did Metal Gear Solid worked on that. King of Fighters 13, Deluxe Edition. Tekken 6, and this game is really heavy. The manual is really thick. Look at that. That's what you call a manual. Top Spin 4. Table tennis, and yes, it was made by Rockstar. Rockstar made a table tennis game, and I hear it's actually pretty good. Pure football. Ubisoft threw their name in the hat and made a football game. PES 2009. PES 2008. FIFA Street 3. Another copy of PES 6. FIFA 2010 World Cup South Africa. FIFA World Cup Germany 2006, one of the first Xbox 360 games I ever got. FIFA 12, 11 and 10. So there we have my complete Xbox 360 collection. Get a nice shot here of everything possible. Yeah, the Xbox 360 is a fantastic console to collect for. Sorry, I need to sit down, hurt my back. Like I said, you know, these games are dirt cheap. Half of these games you can get for under £5. Some shops even throw them £5 for £5 or something like that. So even if you're not the biggest fan of Xbox 360 games, but you are a collector, definitely check out Xbox 360. I think I'm going to end it here. A nice long video for you today because Christmas is coming up, so this is an early Christmas present, you could say. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, and of course comment below. Let me know how many games there are here in total. It would be of great help perhaps. Let me know your favorite Xbox 360 game. For me, I would have to say Halo Reach would be my favorite Xbox 360 games, and Left 4 Dead 2. Those are my top two Xbox 360 games, and Gears of War 3, of course. But there are a bunch of games in here that I haven't even touched, so a bunch of games in here that are backwards compatible, of course. So always check when you buy an Xbox 360 game. Check online to see if you can play it on your Xbox One. And anyway, guys, if you enjoyed, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and of course, check me out on Mixer. I will be streaming most of my Xbox stuff on there. Perhaps not tonight, maybe in the week. We'll do some more streams with my friend, of course. I will try to stream on YouTube, maybe even Twitch at some point in the future if I do PS4. And yeah, the Mad Kiger everywhere. Of course, you can find me anywhere, everywhere. And I want to say a big thank you to all of the new subscribers and all of the new people commenting. Always nice to hear from new subscribers. I hope you are enjoying the channel so far. I apologize that there hasn't been a lot of gaming related content in terms of this sort of stuff. That's why I did this for you guys today, to show that I still am the collector. I still am one at heart. So hopefully this will give you a bit of an overview for your newcomers to see that just what sort of stuff I have to offer. So have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.